On Wellness Week Live, Magnus PhD. I'm the DJ. What's up, everybody? Hey, don't forget, please like and subscribe. We need you, goddammit. All right, here we go. Like and subscribe, like and subscribe. Okay, so don't forget, we're just two friends having a conversation. We're not giving medical advice. We're not giving any medical advice or anything like that. Always consult with your healthcare professionals. But today, Magnus, what makes a good teacher? So, it's funny. I was thinking about it today. I was like, I don't know why. I had a random thought. I was like, who are my favorite teachers, and why were they my favorite, and what makes a good teacher? Now, full disclosure, I used to be a teacher for 11 years, and I don't want to brag, but I thought I was but I don't know. That's my opinion. But anyways, and I know that you have someone in your family who's a teacher, and so Magnus, I guess there are two questions in one. So my question for you, Magnus, who was one of your favorite teachers growing up, and what made them your favorite? What made them so good?
There's so many layers on what is a good coach, mentor, teacher, whatnot. I think like enthusiasm that you actually like spread it. That's something that might actually be kind of boring, or at least that your first thought is that it might be boring. Right. That it kind of rubs off, that you start getting interested more and more, and it's actually like make something interesting and fun to read about. And one of I think is a really, really important quote that as like teachers, mentors, and coaches should live by is light a fire, don't just fill a bucket. Right. Like the interest that all of a sudden is like, okay, I want to know more about this.
Right.
and trying to be like supportive, positive, motivation, knowledgeable, observant, good at communication, right. Also a really good listener usually.
Yeah. It's funny. When I was a teacher, and I would go into some of these interviews when I just got out of college trying to get a teaching job, and whatever, some of these interviewers would say, so Anthony, what would be your classroom management plan, or the psychology behind managing a class? I'm like, what? So as the years went on, and I always used to think about that question. In my opinion, you don't need some plan to teach children or how to manage. I think, you can try to implement all the crap you want, but it's like Mike Tyson said, you can have the best plan in the world, but then when you get punched in the face, those plans get out the window. So when the kids are getting crazy, you can be like, hold on now, let me look up my plan. It says here. And no. So for me, when I was a teacher, I used to always say it's a command presence. The way you walk, the way you sit, the way you talk, the way that is what is going to be one of the hallmarks of a good teacher. Is I don't have to trick you or use some kind of psychological mind game or some my planning management thing. It's, you can tell I'm in control because I have a command presence, and I don't have to yell. I don't have to try some psychological bullshit on a class. I think the other thing with a great teacher is a teacher who has empathy, who understands where kids and teenagers are coming from, and understands like, hey, look, I know this topic is boring, or I know you don't want to be here, but they can tell a teacher's human, not just turn to page 21 now. Like that type of teacher sucks, and I think especially in college, you get these professors that have PhDs. They know their topic excellent. They know the topic very well, but do they know how to teach? No. Two separate issues. No. Two separate issues. Some do, most don't. And so my thing is teaching is how to deliver that knowledge. And you alluded to this before, having the enthusiasm. When a teacher is excited about that topic, it's contagious. When they're like, all right, guys and girls, this next one, you're not going to believe this. Or, hey, in history, this was like this, or mathematics, this is how this goes. It's amazing. Like, you can tell there's joy in that teacher's heart. When you have a teacher that's just like, oh, no, it's like, man, you lost that class. And, so I'm not a teacher anymore, but, I have.
But you're a coach.
Right. I have a couple of businesses. One of them is the tennis coaching, and I coach anywhere from 1-on-1 to I've coached 40-on-1. And no matter whether it's 1-on-1 or 40-on-1, meaning I am the coach and I have 40 students, I've never had a problem because they know I want to be there. They see the joy in my heart. they also know that you're not going to push me around either. I'm not an asshole, but I'm also, again, that command presence where I always say, you can say the same, two separate coaches can say the word stop, and it can mean two different things. You know, if you say to a bunch of kids, stop versus stop, there's two, you know, how you deliver, how you speak, how you carry yourself, that, and also when the kids know that you're down for them, that you love them, that you're going to do, you know, for them, that you're on their team, then you're not going to have many discipline problems. But when the kids aren't dumb, they can smell, you know, that this teacher doesn't give a shit, or they're just here for the money, then, or I say money, like they're there for the job. You know what I mean? Like when the kids know that you're down for them and you got their back, you don't have to do too much reprimanding. And, you know, you can just give them a look and they will acquiesce because they know, hey, this person cares about me. And of course you have to know your subject matter. I'm not saying that, but yeah, so that's a good teacher, you know, those things. I mean, is there anything else you wanted to add? Or
yeah, I mean, there's a difference of being nice and being like a pushover. Like when people know that you're nice, but you're not a pushover. I mean, yes, before they figure that out, they might try to test you and get away with things.
Right.
But again, most people, especially kids and pets, like if you have structure and specific rules, the communication and interaction are going to be so much easier. Like they know when they're pushing, and you know it too. And then it's like, this happened. I told you from day one, like, do not do this, or like this is behavior that is okay. This is behavior that is not okay.
And you don't have to yell. You could just be like, hey,
if you cross that line
out or whatever it is,
there will be consequences.
Right.
And you hand the consequences to whoever, even if it's your favorite, or even if it's the maybe the student that is not as active, or that you might not like. I don't want to use dislike, but like
not your favorite.
You know what I mean? Like, and I think it's just being pretty straight and not like there's no excuses. It's this and that's it. You know?
Yeah. I had a teacher. I'm not going to say the name because I have some of my teachers watch this show, and I'm like, I don't want favoritism. I love all my teachers equally. But I remember this one teacher when I was a kid. You know, she was very tough, very assertive, command presence, knew her stuff, loved her job. But, you know, I was a good boy, but very naughty, and not in a bad way, but, you know, chit chat and kind of daydreaming and the class clown for sure.
Yep.
And so she said to me, Anthony, you know, I want to say she gave me a bad grade, but I actually gave it to myself. Anyways, I earned the bad grade and I was being naughty, and she punished me. And she did something that no one's ever done in my life, not family, not nobody. She said to me, you know, Anthony, I'm going to punish you, but, you know, you're going to get detention or whatever. But she's like, I will never give up on you, Anthony. You can give up on you, Anthony, but I'm not going to give up on you. And I was like, that changed my life in that moment. I look back, I'm like, there's few pivotal moments in our lives. That was one of them for me. And I was a child, you know, but I couldn't believe, like, my own parents, and I love my parents, they're good people, but my own parents would never said that to me. You know, like this stranger, this teacher, look, she was, you know, very tall. She was looking down at me as a child, and she's like, I will never give up on you. And I could tell she meant it. She wasn't bullshitting, you know? And I didn't go on to be some great student, but I felt safe, and I felt like I deserved what I got. I got my punishment, you know, but it was like, wow, this person really cares. And she didn't have to do much yelling or anything, you know, just a glance of the eye or a raising of the finger or whatever. And this was one of the greatest teachers I've ever, there's many, but she was one of the greatest because of that. Like you mentioned, she pushed
you to actually like fulfill what you actually can do. She pushed you to become a better student and a better person.
And she put the onus of my success on me. She goes, Anthony, you can fail if you want to. You can give up on you, but I'm not. I was like, whoa, like, holy shit. like this is someone.
Have you ever had that I'm disappointed at you and you're disappointing yourself?
Yeah.
That like, I think there's so many people that, like, it could be your parent, it could be a teacher, it could be a grandparent, family member, a sibling, best friend. But when someone says that, and you know that they're right.
But that's
like getting punched in the face.
Right. And I think a good teacher gives you carrots and gives you the stick. You know, like if all you do is yell and scream and punish your kids or whatever, your parent, like this teacher, she was very good with giving of herself in the sense of verbally awarding us, like, hey, great job today, Anthony, or hey, that was great you did today, or thank you, Anthony, for cleaning up the chalkboard, or whatever. Then when she had to punish me, it was easier, and she didn't have to yell or get strict, because she already had filled up the account with a lot of positive affirmation, and so her job was easier because she, again, gave me a lot of carrots. So for every one stick, I got 3 carrots, kind of like that, and she found ways to reward, whether it's through, again, verbal or through giving maybe a little extra credit, or, but little things like that. And that's how I work with my students too, or my kids.
Motivation.
Yeah. You can't just be negative. There's always something you can be positive about.
People will stop listening to you. And I think that's and also this is something that I learned from coaching, which is very important. If you're giving someone credit, don't just say a good job. Actually single out something that they did good, because after a while, good job, great job.
Yeah.
People don't understand it. They become numb to it, and it has no meaning. If you say it's good job, you're doing X, Y, and Z good here. That makes it so much more genuine and also more acceptable, and you can understand it better. Yeah. And it becomes more fun. And then I think that it triggers, like you said, you're getting more carrots, and that motivates people.
Yeah, for sure. And again, so that's that. But anyway, so anything else, Magnus, before we wrap this bad boy up?
No. Again, hire coaches, mentors, teachers. That one of the most important jobs in the world is actually moving knowledge from one brain to another.
Yeah, teachers are amazing. All right, thank you, everybody. Check back in. We got another great bunch of shows coming up. Magnus.